Hey guys, and welcome back to Survival Records, where today we're going to pick up where we left off, in that I've got this big old door to finish building, and it occurs to me I think the first thing I need to build is another armature like this one over here. So I'm going to do that. Oh, actually, that reminds me. One of the first things I need to do, and I'll do it down here so it's not quite so loud, is get these guys their blueprints again. Because I still don't know of any way to automatically get them to repopulate after a reload of the game. But, that's not a big deal, not a big worry. I've got enough cooked food left over still that I haven't had to stress. Okay, and one more. So that's where the other piston will be attached. So this piston's going to need to have the exact same settings as this piston. And I have the hinge attached to that piston. And I have the hinge attached to the door. So here we've got, let's line it up correctly. That hinge has the little indicator upright, like this. And I'm going to weld those up and get them able to be maneuvered first. Although I guess what I could just do is this and lock the hinge. And now I can put this here. Yep. And then from there I can put another hinge, and this hinge has its indicator upright. So like that. However, this is going to be removed from there, and then on this piece over here, we're going to have a hinge part connected like that. Alright, let me weld those up and then get their settings all copied over from the ones on that side. Okay, so if I look at hinges, we've got the hinge for the hangar door on the starboard side with the distal and proximal. That's what D and P stand for. And when you're talking things like anatomy, distal is farther away, proximal is closer in. And so if I'm thinking of the door as being held by hands, then distal would be the hinge further down. So this hinge here needs to be called the distal hinge. Well, hinge, hangar door, port side, and distal. Okay, and now I know what to name the other one. So we'll go back to a thing here. Let's look at the hinges. We've got this hinge, which is the one right next to me, is the hangar door. And actually, I'm going to be renaming a bunch of things, so I'm just going to copy hangar door. And it's port and proximal. Alright. So, I want to get it to be up in about the right position. So I'm going to go like this. Get it to be inside of the proper zone for its maximums. So that's one maximum it has, and the other maximum it has is 0. Let's copy those over. From the starboard distal side, those maximums are torque, braking torque. Oh, wait, I can copy and go to the hangar door distal and is I gotta figure this out. So copies the detailed info text to clipboard. Hold right mouse button to move. Added by build info mode. I don't... Let's take a look at it this way. Copy settings. Copy all settings. Copy settings. Paste settings. All right. Hey, it worked, and it automatically put it in the right position. Oh, cool. So if I go do the same thing here, copy settings, copy all, copy settings, paste. It'll automatically push it up into the right position. Oh, I'm liking that. That makes it so much easier. Copy settings, copy all. Copy settings, paste. And I messed up. Okay, let me fix this. Yeah, duh, that's dumb of me. Do I have a thing? I don't. Let me just snag a little bit of that, and we'll go like this, and we're attached to the door in the correct spot there. Don't know what I was thinking doing this. But hey, the copy and paste thing, that's really easy to do. Alright, I'll grind and weld and all that stuff right now. Alright. Welded that up, pasted it, and once this is over here... Actually, I'm going to copy and paste these settings first, I think. Copy settings. Copy all... Paste. Okay, and attach. No explosions. All right. Now I need to group things together a little bit. So we've got the hangar door, starboard hinge, hangar door, starboard pistons. So let's do hangar door. Oh, did I copy the name? That's something to consider. Yeah, look, I copied the name too. If you copy all but name. Okay, well, good news is that at this point, I really don't need to differentiate between the left and the right side. So, the hangar door hinge can just become the hangar... So the hangar door starboard hinge can just become the hangar door hinge. Wait, no, I'm not even using those. I need to control the hinges separately. So, the distal hinges, I need to control them. That was a mistake. Okay. Hangar door, distal hinge. Save. Hangar door, proximal hinge.
Energy low.
Hangar door, distal pistons. And last but not least, hangar door, proximal pistons. Okay. Now I need to go through the timer blocks, set the groups to do the things properly, which I will do using these timer blocks for now to make sure it works, but eventually I'm going to move those timer blocks someplace else. But for right now, a little energy. Well, this is interesting. I just heard some radio chatter from the Grub. Taking damage. Need urgent assistance. And then, the base command, Fox in the henhouse. Release the hounds. Okay, that's interesting. It was down in this general direction, but not, you know, that... Oh, it was down near the Mayday signal down there. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay, so this will be what I want to do. Man, I just realized I probably want to make it a button. I was gonna, like, bring it back just as I'm welding up the last thing, but if I make it this button terminal instead, which of course I don't have the right materials for, I can use that button to turn on or off the this merge block. So merge block 7, let's call it merge block hangar door. There. So this one button, we've got the 2 merge blocks, and we want this one toggle block on and off. So first things first, toggle the block on or off. And did you see that seam pop into existence? That means it is a separate grid. That's great. Okay, now I can go in here. Everything looks correct. We're its own static grid. We're no longer the sled park. Convert to ship. And now we go to where our door is, and we open it. Oh, God. Yeah, look at that. Oh, my God, that's perfect. That's not perfect. Oh, man. Oh, man, I am so happy with how well that worked. And now... close. Oh, this is great. And now, so obviously I'm not going to be able to, maybe not obvious. I got a comment about, reminding me that voxels don't hold in air. I'm aware of that. My intention has always been to put walls up inside here. So this interior area is going to be where it's airtight. And then, bam, it turns back on and seals back up. And oh my goodness, it is just what I want it to be. Now this door here, I know I checked, is of an appropriate size to fit a small ship through. Alright. And then the next door over is an appropriate size to fit another slightly larger ship through. In case I want to get in here and do some welding, but don't necessarily want to open the doors all the way up. Oh, look at this! I need to do some welding. Now, shall we grab the materials needed for either of those? I think we shall. Wait, let me just double check. I don't have anything else. Yep. Didn't mean to start welding those up, but that's okay. I need to move the number 2. Oh, I never showed you on camera. I had to change out the cockpit for the number 2 because the industrial cockpit has its connector on top. And seeing as when I removed that drill from up top, it got moved. I might decide to put the drill back up top instead of having this guy, ore detector, but not right now. Okay. Yeah, let's just park her over here for the time being. In fact, I might take a look at what ores I have available. And figure out where I need to go and get any more. I know I need to get, uranium and platinum are both far away, and I would want to go there using the sled. Anyway, where was I? We're going to build up those reactors. Now, I anticipate that this will be very heavy. Very heavy load. Might even take more than one run. Here, you go to your inventory. You go to your ship inventory. You go to your ship's only inventory. You hide the empty stuff. Then over here, you go to your components. And seeing as I have a bunch of things that's called a composter, I have to spell almost all the way out to component in order to get it to come back up. So I've taken to PON for component, or the component. Anyway, let's go ahead and withdraw the components to the build planner. Cannot withdraw a lot of the reactor components, motors, computers, and a bunch of other stuff. Okay. Now what about this one here? Can I draw more into that? I can, but I'm still missing a bunch of stuff. Alright. I am pushing as hard as I can. Oop, there we go. This is a lot of material in here. And as slow as I am to speed up, it's going to be just as slow to slow down. So I'm going to be very delicate and careful with this. Through the doors. And let's get the welders ready. And start with just one of them. Ooh, look at that. Yep, and I'm still empty, or rather I'm not empty, but I haven't taken any. So yeah, let's grab the rest, and then we're gonna have those 2 reactors ready to go. So I just grabbed all of those materials, and one of the things I wanted to do was come down here and change back the number of reactors to a more reasonable level. We'll call it 100 for now. I think that's probably smart, because then... Yeah, because that way I don't have a... I don't have so many in here that I'm wasting material, but I also don't have so many, or so few, that I can't build a reactor when I want to. Not a large reactor, obviously, but a small-sized, large grid reactor. Alright, so I'm going to keep up with this process and weld up the door, weld up all of this. It's going to take a lot of steel plate, get everything ready to go. You know, for certain things, like if I know that I have a lot of one thing, I can grab one of them, right? And then have that one in my G menu, right here, my build planner. And then when I go into this button, you hold down Control, and you pull out 10 times as much as you want. So, and it stays in your build planner even after pulling out the 10 times. So if I've got, 8 of those, I'll just pull out 10 times as much as I need to weld them all up. All right. Let's do it. Let's get an actual fully welded up door in here. Nice. Okay, well, let's close the door. Cool. Let's grab all of the doors. No, that's not what they're called. Warfare hangar door. Warfare hangar door. Let's make them a group. Inner hangar door. And let's close it. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. You can see through the glass. You can see it's all closed. And then from the outside, you can see that it is sealed all the way around. Like, one spot here doesn't have a seal on it for some reason. And then one spot up here. I think it's because of the interaction between this block and that block. But it's basically the same as the interaction there. Or there. I'm pretty confident it'll work. And I can just come in and out through here. Now the next thing, actually, is for me to build up some kind of seal between here and here, so that there's an airlock type of something going on here. That would be neat. Gotta figure out how to do that. But anyway. It's a standalone grid. We convert it to ship. And we then go and open it. Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, it's so cool. I think there needs to be, like a beeping noise, flashing lights going on when it's doing it. Ah, that'd be so cool. All right, I got to work on some decorations and everything. I got to work on moving these timer blocks someplace else. The commands inside the timer blocks are very simple. On here, it's reverse the proximal pistons and reverse the distal hinges. And as a reminder, the proximal pistons, proximal having the same root as proximity, are the closer pistons. And then the distal, same root as distance, or distant, the distant hinges here. So those are tied together. And then this timer block here controls the other two groups, the distal pistons and the proximal hinge. So the distal piston and the proximal hinge. And then when I press the button, you'll see that they move, they activate together. So you see that hinge started bending, and that started extending first. Then that started extending, and that started bending. And they're tied together, going at the same time, according to the pairs they're in. And the only difference between opening and closing is which of the two you activate first. And that's controlled by these two timer blocks, where this one has activate or trigger now the first group and then start the second group. Right? And this timer block, hangar door 3, right? I'll rename it, but that's the opening version where it tells it reverse, then reverse. And then here's the closing, which tells it reverse, then reverse. Oh man, I am so happy I got this to work. Took me a few more hours than I expected to, but hey, it's here. I want to set up some buttons and sensors for this. A sensor where if I fly a ship up close to it, it opens up. This one, you gotta open it by pressing a button there. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy with this. So, and now inside of this space up here, I'm going to have like my living quarters and server rooms and whatnot up here, controlled by the elevator, getting yourself up to them. And then, I don't know what then. Let's move these first. Let's get those remade, rebuilt somewhere up here. I guess I'll use this as a basis for like a rear wall type situation. I like this. It actually does need to have this up here for when it opens and closes properly. It can't be flush. So let me carry that across. Get it so I know where the floor is going to be up here. And I'll get a floor going up in here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I should do next. That way I can open out my workshop bay here, and we can get the Esbelta pulled in and parked. Yeah. Well, after much more fussing about and figuring out than what I had intended to start with, I am now figuring on where things are going to go. So out and about where that block is. So actually like on top of this block, right here, is going to be where my gravity generator goes. It's not quite in the center of everything. That would be this block here. But rather than it being way up here and having half of it not be effective, I figure I'll put it there and then have it extend out this way. And maybe extend into there a little bit more than it needs to. Either way, I think that works. And then the top floor, the top story, is going to be up here. In line with this, over here. And then this area up here above the noisy refineries. This will be where I put the server room. So, how do I want to do that? There's a trick that I'm not sure I want to use. I'm sure many of you know about it already. But if you make a small grid attachment, like you convert to a small grid attachment using a hinge or using a rotor, and then you build on to it with small grid, you can make small grid timer blocks. So, like the large grid timer block, this guy here, it's a full-size block. Here's the thing, I need 4 of them, at least, possibly another 5, or a fifth, not another 5, in order to make the door itself work, just the door. And then I'm going to need however many of them I have for, the elevator. That's one example I can think of. Using them to make up the welding wall or the welding pit here to repair the ships that I fly in and then they get repaired. That'll be another another handful of timers. But then again, I mean, I could fit a lot of timer blocks in here, stack them up too high. I think that'd probably be okay. Let me put down a floor. I'm gonna go ahead and use the interior plates, like this interior block, like I had before. And yeah, I think I'm gonna use the space that I've been given to just put down lots and lots of timer blocks. It might, might not be as saving as much space as I would have otherwise, but at least it'll be cool looking, right? Alright, let me do that. So, I got something new to show you guys. Or, rather, to completely avoid for the time being until I'm feeling overconfident. Yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Anyway, like I said, I think I elected to go for just a field of the large ones. I've got the room. I could probably stack them up 3 high in here and deeper than this even if I wanted to. And then, as I'm going along, if I want to get another programmable block in here, I could probably throw them in along the sides, just interspersed as like little workstations. But, I think that'll work. I think it'll work all right. And I have them all set up, so... what do I need for this? Is that gonna be okay? Kind of half... No, I'm not gonna leave it there. Here. We'll put it on that side and on this side. And we weld one of those up. Now we want to open and close, yeah? So, open. Trigger now. And close. Sled door, close. Interesting. It's this one. Wait, no, I wanted to trigger that one now. And in here, I'm gonna go ahead and call it script on the middle one with a black background just to indicate that it's off. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one with a script with everything off. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna set up the buttons are set up. I gotta change the text on them, but I think those are ready to go. So first thing I would do is come over here, toggle the lock on and off, go ahead and check to see if this is a static grid, convert it to ship, and now I gotta get over here and get out of the way. Open. Oh, that's looking great. I did, in fact, share inertial tensor with the pistons. They are moving a lot more smoothly now. A lot less jiggling. I like it. Alright, and now I'm going to close it. Perfect. Ah, this is great. Okay. And we can turn that block back on, which, ooh, snapped it into place. I should be careful with that. Okay, I got one more thing I want to do, and then I'll show it to you opening and closing again. All right, once more for the record. Oh man, okay, I like it. Getting another timer block to work for the lights and the sounds was actually a lot easier than you'd think. It's just a matter of when you close it, or open it, it turns on the lights and plays the sound. And then a timer block gets started, and the timer block counts down the same 24 seconds or 25 seconds as the track on the sound block. And then as soon as the timer block counts down that 25 seconds, it turns off the lights. And so here we are. We've got a door. What am I going to do with it now? Do I pull in the Isbelta, get those upgrades started on it, and I don't know. Like, I wanted to get the railguns. I wanted to do the railguns in there. I should be able to make railgun ammo. And the other thing is I want to get the sensors to work for these. Get things like, well, geez, I don't know. My upstairs up here, I could get that started to be worked on. I could do the entirety of the room and make it airtight. That would be neat. Yeah, I mean, well, hey, let me know what you think my priority ought to be. Let me know what you'd like to see get done. I have a lot of things I just mentioned that I didn't actually add to the list here, but hey, either way, I gotta pick something to start working on right now so that I can finish out the episode, I guess. But yeah, in the comments, let me know, what do you think I should focus on here? I'm definitely looking for some, I'd be happy to accept some suggestions. Alright, well, I think my thing I'm going to do next is actually enclose this area. Put the walls up. I don't know if I'm going to have enough iron to do it. I did a thing. It took a while to figure out how to make it format the right way, but it's here. And I have 62,000 iron ingots left, but 396,000 iron ore. Actually, I probably will do okay. Izzy's is still managing which ore it's refining first. Oh, and I figured it out. I can't refine the titanium until I upgrade one of these to a tier 4 refinery. So yeah, let me start laying out blocks and get the frame up, and then I'll weld it all up with the regulations violator. So, yeah, here we go. Alright, guys. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that musical interlude, time-lapse, whatever you want to call it. Now, I still obviously have a lot to do up here. This is where the living quarters are going to be. I need to do the floor. I need to do like a medical room, a bedroom, a kitchen, those sorts of things. And this little spar here, I'm still going to have it be where I can stop the elevator there and walk out, and then like right here, maybe just in front of it, is where the gravity generator is going to be. But as you can see, I've got a number of vents. And so let's do this. Take a look. I've changed the buttons around. I really like it. Here we go. I feel like maybe it could move a little faster. Excuse me. A little faster, but I also don't necessarily want it to ever, like, clang out. And slow and steady, right? Slow and steady wins the race. And come back down here. Merged. And look at that. Oh yeah, now this is a massively huge space. I don't even know that I have enough oxygen stored up on all my tanks to be able to accommodate it. But it's looking like... Oh yeah, look at me. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Survival Records. I hope that you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back. So until then, thanks for watching.